Right, let's show you my PVA mesh bag mix that I've been using today. It consists of 2mm cell micro pellets, and they are put always dry, so not like we normally do for the method feeder. And then essential cell 10mm mainline shelf life boilies. And then I'll show you what I use these for in the mix. We're not putting them in whole. You've seen in the video already what I'm doing with them, but I'll just show you what I do and how I make my mix up. So it's really, really simple. So what you need is a quarter crusher like this. This is what I use, or just something that you can blend up these boilies with. So a blender, like a food processor, something like that. You don't want it too fine so it goes like a dust. You want it to like little flakes, tiny little flakes. So if you've got a food processor, just make sure your wife's not in, or use something really nice and sweet so she doesn't smell it. Let's show you what we do. So nice little sealable pot, anything that you can, is pretty much airtight. It's going to keep the damp off as well and keep those fresh so you can take them to the next session and the next session. So you usually get a couple of sessions before I will throw it away and then do it again. But especially if you're out every week, so 2 sessions enough, but you might have a day where you use it all depending on how many bags you make up. So the mix itself, really straightforward. Just get your 2mm cell pellets, pour some of those in. So this is what you're going to use to make your bags with. You can do it in a bigger tub to start with, make all your bags and then store your bags in this, but I'm just putting it in this just to show you what sort of quantities I use. And then that is the 2mm just in the pot. And then we've got our quarter crusher here, so that's what it looks like inside. There's like plastic spikes. You put boilies inside and you just literally put the lid back on and crush and just spin it so it crushes them all up. Don't overload it. I do about 8 at a time, and then I just blend them in, mix them into the 2mm, and then once I think the mix looks right, I've got the right amount. You only want a little flecks of colour in there. You don't want to like have a 50-50 mix or something like that. It might work, I'm not saying it won't, but I just want it just something to attract the fish down. And there's the main thing that's going to stick out is my hook bait. I don't want loads of things for the fish to all be going mad over. Not that they're going mental this time of year anyway, because it's absolutely Baltic. Got the quarter crusher, get your boilie, put your boilies. So you want about that many, that's probably too many there. Probably about 5 or 6 at a time. About 5 or 6 at a time. Put them in the crusher, get it in there, trying to get away. And then just push down, like both your hands together, really push, and then just keep crushing it. And shake them around, crush it again, and then you'll see. You might get the odd lump, but don't worry too much about that. You can just keep going, or just break it up with your fingers. And they're really nice and soft when they're fresh. But there you go. Hopefully you can see that on camera. Nice little flex. And then literally, I'll just give it one more. Like that. Yeah, that's perfect now. There we go. Lovely little bright yellow flecks. Pop it straight in there. You're going to get some dust as well, but don't worry about that. And then just literally just do that with your fingers. Mix it all around and then have a little look at it. Do I want to put a bit more? To be fair, I'll put 8, 9 little boilies in there. And then if I show you on there, that's got quite a nice, I'll show you up close in a minute as well. But you can see it's got quite a nice spread. But I will probably put another 4 or 5 in, no more, and just see what that looks like. It's all about trial and error and what you want to go with. It's not a hard and fast rule. You might put a bit more in it. You might have absolutely crazy day. So just play around with it. That's the fun of fishing. Yeah, a couple of little chunks, just break them up. There we go. Again, there you go. Pop it in there and then just give it a little. And I say this works on small waters, big waters. You'll see the guys who fish Boddingtons and that all the time. Steve Ringer, Joe Carras, all them sort of people. They're using stick mixes and PVA bags this time of year. That for me is about perfect, and I will show you that. Show you up close in a sec. You can see that it's evenly distributed all the way through the mix, and that is my PVA mesh bag mix. And then in another video, I'm going to show you. I'll show you this again, but I will also show you how to make the rig. And I make my bags up using these to make sure I get the right quantities of I want, depending on whether it's a coldish day or an absolutely Baltic day. All right, let's get back to the fish.